So what's going on, guys? You're going to be taking a look at Transformers Siege Voyager class Ape Face, and I have to get out of the way first. I don't have the shield. And also, I was like, did you get them secondhand or something? No, I actually bought them in the store, and when I got out, the box was destroyed, and I knew there was something wrong because it was on sale and it just hit the shelves. I know there had to be something missing, right? And yeah, the shield was missing, and I don't even care, though, is the problem. I'll put a picture in of the shield, and I'll also put a picture of the alt mode with the shield, because it doesn't matter for the gorilla mode, but it does matter for the jet mode, I guess, but it's stupid looking in the jet mode too, so either way, the shield's not a big deal to me, and it never really was. It doesn't ruin anything for me, so let's just look at this guy. As far as Ape Face goes, he's covered in the Siege stuff. Oh boy, is he ever. Up here on the tip of the plane, the shoulders, the legs. I don't mind the legs. The shoulders are a bit, they're a bit overdone. Like, look at this one shoulder. Look how silver that is. Like, it's craziness. Other than that, though, I mean, it looks pretty good. He comes with one accessory, technically, too, but we'll get to the second one. He comes with this nice little gun, and that's just a nice little gun. It's just a good gun that he can have. There you go. From behind, he looks like that. He has wings and a whole cockpit and nose cone on his back, so that's awesome. And as far as colors go, I mean, he's primarily this weird milky white, which is the thing that people hate about him most, it seems, is that he's this weird milky white color, but I don't care. Like I said, I'm like that one guy. I'm going to be the guy who doesn't hate on these things because of, I don't know, reason number 5, because everyone else hated it for milky white color. I like it for some reason, because it's Ape Face, and I take Ape Face greatly as an advantage here. Never got Snapdragon, though, sadly, because, like I mentioned, Earthrise never really happened where I lived, so yeah, I also didn't order online. So there's that. As far as it goes, though, this guy just looks great. Just absolutely phenomenal. Take a look at the head, and then we'll get to the articulation. So as far as the head goes, there it is. He's a certain fella. And so the articulation on him has a ball joint in the head because it's a Titan Master. Forward and back. The back's a bit weird. As you can see, it's like kind of catching because there's like a little peg right there that it's catching on. An elbow joint bends a little bit below 90. A swivel. No waist. Oh no. No waist on a more modern figure. Understandable in the circumstances of the transformation, though, so it wouldn't be able to anyway, because the whole thing extends up, so understandable in the circumstance. Forward and back, outward, knee joint, and a swivel, and a tilt. So that is his robot mode, and this guy's a triple changer, so that might be why I cut it a little short for the robot mode, but let's just talk about the Titan Master before we get into transformation. So this is his Titan Master. He doesn't have a name. He never did, and that was the fact. He just never did. And he's a bit different because his back thing isn't the face, his legs are the face of the robot. Weirdly enough, and that's because he's used in the gorilla mode to form the eyes section. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Just looks like that. At least they painted his face. Looks pretty decent. And he has different colors on him. That's all that matters. Also, his arms are painted because you kind of look at them, you can tell they're purple. They're painted black. That's nice. That's him. So let's get into the worst of his two modes first, which is the jet mode. It is the worst mode of the two. It genuinely is. The gorilla mode is awesome, and we'll get to that. So to do the jet mode, it's kind of weird. So you're going to come to the back of the arms, and you're going to just fold these up first. Just like that. So fold them up, they peg in. Flip down that, and then pull on the wings, and that'll unslot them from their spot. And there's the cockpit, that if you have the like back shield cover thing, it covers it over for some reason, and I don't understand why it does that. Open up the legs, because Combiner Wars legs. Also, they do clip in. The feet will keep those bits in place. So there is that. What am I doing wrong here? I didn't. I rotated it. That's what I'm doing wrong. I was like, what am I doing? There we go. So push them up like that until you get this nice little chunk here. This nice little chunk of squareness. And then fold down the purple bit. And then you're going to fold that in like that, and then fold out the wings, and fold out the wings again, and then open up the cockpit, and put our little dude in. And since we don't have the cover, this is it. And like I said, I will put an image of the alt mode with the cover, but as far as this goes, even with the cover, it's not going to save it. It's just not going to save the alt mode. It just isn't. Because it's too brickish as it is, and adding a little bit to it's not going to make it be like, oh, that's a bit more streamlined. No, it's not going to do that. That shield bit does nothing for me, and I'd rather have the little cockpit than have a little pink thing there. I don't know why they thought it would be a good idea just to cover the cockpit. I don't know why they couldn't have just engineered this to somehow fit him up here, because the monkey head is in there. That would have been a way better solution than, oh, you know what, let's just, you know, put him in the back and no one will ever see him again. I don't get that, personally. Makes no sense. And I mean, as far as this mode goes, it really is his worst mode by like 1.5 miles. Battle damage on the nose cone's a bit weird. I didn't peg the arms in, did I? I didn't. The arms are kind of strange to peg in. If you want the truth. That peg I mentioned earlier, they got to peg in to where the mushroom joint is, so that's fun. There we go. It's all pegged up now. I mean, this just isn't that good. It really isn't. Like the cockpit section back here. I mean, they even have a little sculpted seat in there and everything, but like, you're just never gonna see him if you have the pink bit on. So that's Ape Face's jet mode, aka his worst mode, and let's get into his best mode. Literally his best mode, the gorilla mode. So transform into the gorilla form. First what I'm gonna do, come into the back here and remove his little Titan mask we got. Next, come to the wings and raise them up again, like so. Flip out the monkey feet that are on the back. Come in here to the arm bits. So these little bits here are just the arms, so you're going to fold it out, just like that, and like that. That's the most perfect I think I've ever had the chest in my existence. But I guess I gotta ruin it. Flip the cockpit section back, like so. And try to make sure everything stays pegged in. This is the worst part about this whole thing. Sometimes it doesn't like to stay pegged in. Come into the back and flip out the gorilla form monkey head. And then you gotta make sure everything remains pegged in. And this is where a lot of people also have an issue with the figure, is the whole transformation to gorilla mode. And the reason is this weird little flap here. Now the gorilla mode head does tab in. It does tab in elsewhere. So there is like a little groove here that goes on there. And it tabs in there. This bit's supposed to be flipped out of it. And it pegs on in a really weird way because you have to like slide it over. So there's these two little pegs right there, and there's a little crevice. But you can't just put the peg in there. You gotta like slide it over the peg, which makes it 10 times harder than it needs to be. As you can tell, I'm having a hard time with it because doesn't ever like to do it. The problem. So the chest always ends up being a bit out of whack. And there we go, I actually got it. Put that like that. Sorry. And then you fold him up again. Oh, don't drop him. And you put him in the gorilla head. I just unpegged it, didn't I? I did indeed. There we go. Might do a little cut until I can fix this up properly, so we'll be back in a second. And we're back, and he's been fixed up a little bit. Pretty meaningfully fixed up. It actually barely even took time. I probably shouldn't have even done an edit, but I did anyway. So, as far as the monkey goes, yeah, it's the best mode. It pinnacly is. Sorry about the car driving up the road, the window's open. But it just is his best mode by like a mile and about a half. Like, the robot mode is good, and I do like it, but the monkey mode is just so fun that I can't like be like, oh, it's just bad. That pink bit, once again, would be on the back, cluttering it up, so I don't even mind that it's gone. Like I said, it affects the worst of the 3 modes anyway, and I hate that mode. So why would I care about a little pink piece? And I'm not going to even bother showing it on this mode because there's no point. As far as the gorilla mode goes, it has the ape face head and does that. That's nice. I should have got little Titan Master ape face. I forgot to grab him. I do own him. The little like severed guy that came out in Titan's Return. I do own him. I mean, the head sculpt looks pretty nice on it. It just looks great with the visor and everything. The head's on a ball joint, getting to articulation. The arms are also on a ball joint, and there's a bend there, and the hand can bend. At the back, it goes forward and back. There's a little knee, and then there's the foot can tilt forward and back. He's just a little articulate guy, you know? He's pretty articulate. You can get him standing if you want. Kind of. Once again, though, you might have to move the chest piece. Sorry, my voice just keeps going funny. I don't know why. Standing monkey mode. You can do it. It's there. It's an option. Does it look the best? Not really. So let's just get to my thoughts on this guy. My thoughts on Ape Face. I think he's a bit overhated, but I also don't think he's the greatest thing in the world. He really isn't. He's just fine. Like, if you missed him, it was more or less like you wouldn't care unless you just wanted Ape Face. I wanted Ape Face because I thought Ape Face was awesome. Because he's a triple changer gorilla that turns into a jet. Like, that's just an awesome concept as it is. But then they come around and they're like, yeah, how can we mess this up today? And apparently the messing up of it was just, you know, let's make one of the modes really terrible compared to the other 2. And also, the plastic, I guess, for most people, not me, I don't really care, I don't find it's that bad, but everyone hates it for the plastic color, which I still think's a bit weird. I don't know where the plastic color came out of this, like, it's just like, oh no, look, it's a bit too not pure white for me, so I don't like it. It seems to be the consensus, but I don't mind the plastic color as much on the pink, or not the pink, the white. The other 2 plastic colors are fine, the purple and the pink, they're just like normal. But I mean, as far as he goes, he's just decent enough, and I can't give him like a crazy high rating for being just decent enough. I literally forgot. I was like, why won't that fold in correctly? Because I don't have the Titan Master. He didn't want to go in, he doesn't want to come out either. But I mean, as far as it goes with this guy, he just, you know, he's fine enough. I'm going to give him a 3 out of 5. Not the best in the world, but not the worst. He's a 3 out of 5. So this has been Eilt Elite signing out.